Foundations. Now that we have addressed behaviors around nutrition, we now need to have an understanding of food foundations. What matters most and what are the key main areas to address first? It's one thing to address our mindset and behaviors around food, and it's another to have knowledge around nutrition to overall make the best decisions possible for ourselves. We're going to start off by looking at a case study. This is Sarah. She's 30 years old, 85 kilos, she's moderately active. Her goal is weight loss. Her current TDEE, which is her maintenance calories, is 2,400. As you can see here, she's currently eating 2,800 calories a day. Eats 2 meals, 2 snacks, doesn't get much fruit or veg in, gets most of her calories from high processed calorie meals, and gets most of her proteins from snacks like protein bars and shakes. You can see on the side here just what a day of her eating is like. I want you to have a think about what changes you would make to her current diet to improve it. These are the changes I would make, and I'll explain why. Firstly, I'd prioritize calories. Secondly, I'd prioritize protein in each meal. Thirdly, prioritize fiber. And then I'd have a balance of protein, fats, and carbs while still including the foods you love. To understand why I would make these changes, firstly, let's understand the core pillars of nutrition first. The main thing to know is when it comes to body composition, weight gain, or fat loss, calories are king. They are what matter most. Calories are the energy of the foods we consume on a daily basis. When it comes to body composition, it's calories in versus calories out. Now, what make up calories? Not all food is the same, right? I know you might be thinking, and that is correct. Calories are broken down into macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients, known as carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and micronutrients I like to refer to like as the rainbow, are all the vitamins and minerals our bodies need. I'll dive deeper into macronutrients and micronutrients later on, but first let's tackle calories. Calories can be broken up into 3 groups: calorie deficit, TDEE, maintenance calories, and calorie surplus. How we lose weight is by creating a calorie deficit, which is consuming less calories than we burn. So basically, anything under your TDEE, maintenance calories. Losing weight isn't dictated by how healthy the food is we eat, but the total amount of the calories. This isn't to say let's eat a diet full of sugar and processed foods, as we will lack other nutrients our body needs, but you still can include the foods you do enjoy. For example, a Paddle Pop ice cream is the same calories as a banana. Now this just goes to show you that eating an ice cream won't cause weight gain. It comes down to being aware of the calories in the food so you can have more flexibility while still achieving your goal. TDEE, it's a mouthful, I know, is maintenance calories. It's the total amount your body can maintain without weight gain or weight loss. Your maintenance calories ideally are the ones you want to be on for majority of the year. It's the healthy range of calories for our bodies. Starting here will better set you up for a weight loss phase or even a build phase. How we put weight on isn't by eating some sugar or some chips, but overall and over time, eating in a calorie surplus. This is eating over your maintenance calories, your TDEE. You could still eat super healthy, but still be eating too much food overall than what your body requires to have. So it doesn't just come down to sugar being the enemy for weight gain, it's the total overall calories. Weight gain also doesn't just happen overnight from a little splurge. Sure, that can lead to bloating, but the body registers our weekly calorie amount, so it will be over a period of time consistently eating more in a surplus for weight gain to happen. You can see previously in a case study as well, Sarah was currently in a surplus by eating 2,800 calories a day, when her TDEE is only at 2,400 calories. How we burn calories. Now, the main factor contributing to our TDEE, total daily expenditure is what it's called, is BMR, our basal metabolic rate, which are the calories we burn by basic bodily functions like breathing, sleeping, etc. NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, is not too far behind it, which is the calories burned outside of our BMR and planned exercise. NEAT is one of the biggest underestimated calorie burners. This is why keeping up your NEAT levels, daily non-intentional exercise, such as steps, is just as important, if not more important, than training itself. One main difference is with NEAT, we accumulate more hours over the week than training, which is on average an hour a day. This is why we don't want to underestimate the power of NEAT. EAT, exercise activity thermogenesis, being the calories we burn through intentional exercise, and as you can see, it doesn't actually accumulate to that much on a daily basis. A lot of the time, our perspective of training probably needs to flip, and we need to understand that training isn't there for the sole purpose of burning off calories, but rather training is a long-term process and utilized to build lean muscle mass, support bone density and joints, and prevent injuries. That's training's main purpose, which in a long-term process will increase also your BMR due to the lean muscle mass it has built. So it's probably a little bit of unlearning to understand more that training's sole purpose isn't for a quick fix calorie burner. TEF, the thermic effect of food. The calories we burn from digestion. Food groups higher in having a thermic effect of food are protein food sources. But keep in mind, its effect is only still about 5% total of your TDEE. But it's better than nothing at all, right? Body composition. So when it comes to body composition and fat loss, we now know the key fundamentals to achieving this is by creating an overall calorie deficit to achieve any fat loss goal. But what obstacles can we be faced with doing so? You might have heard of the words before, a damaged metabolism, when in fact what it actually is a metabolic adaptation. When our bodies adapt to the calories we are on, that's what happens when we have our damaged metabolism, which is, as I said, called metabolic adaptation. This occurs when we are in a calorie deficit and we diet down to lower calories. As we lose weight and eat less, our body downregulates a number of physiological processes in order to conserve energy. This is a survival mechanism and can be easily reversed when our calorie intake is increased again. During a diet, your metabolism will slow down and you will burn fewer calories. This is inevitable when dieting. It's not exactly something you should fear, but rather understand its reason for happening and use it to help navigate your decision-making process when you hit a fat loss plateau. Because further to lose weight, you will need to increase energy expenditure or decrease energy intake, or both. We are going to use this 5P as an analogy for the importance and use of macronutrients. The macronutrients, carbs, fats, and protein in foods we consume are used to create energy within the body. This energy fuels all the various functions of our body that it makes throughout the day. Carbohydrates are like kindling twigs. They burn hot and fast, providing quick energy. Kindling doesn't burn for very long, so it will need to be replenished often if it's being used as the primary fuel source for the fire. Fats are like the logs on the fire. They burn long and slow, providing warmth, energy for a longer period of time. Protein is a very important macronutrient, but it's not a great source of energy for the body. Yes, technically the body can make energy from protein, but the process is metabolically expensive and it can be hard on the body over time. For the purpose of this analogy, I would ask you to think of proteins as the rocks and bricks around the fire. They provide structure, but don't contribute any heat to the fire. We can use the fire analogy as a starting point to determine energy and macronutrient needs. Someone who has an active job and exercises many times a week will most likely need a different ratio of kindling, carbs, to logs, which are the fats, compared to someone who sits at a desk job for many hours of the week and commutes 2 hours each day to work. Macronutrients, Macronutrients are vital for bodily functions such as energy, hormones, muscles, and joints. Micronutrients are also vital for healthy body functions such as gut health, digestion, disease prevention, and well-being. Micronutrients like salad, fruit, and veg can come under fiber, which can also fall under the family of carbohydrates. Some foods can overlap, as seen in the picture, like dairy is a form of protein and fats. But overall, it's important to know which food group belongs to what macro group. You'll see attached a cheat sheet, which will help you understand which foods belong to which macro group more. It's important to have a diet that incorporates a balance of macro and micros that are high in protein and fiber, and still include fats and carbs as well. Think of what you can get more bang for buck for. I like to think of it this way. This is something to consider if you're wanting to diet down, like the case study with Sarah, or simply make some better healthy food habits. As you can see here, for 1800 calories, just what you can get for that. I like to think of calories like a bank account on a holiday. Don't go spending all your money at once. Be smart with it and spend wisely. You might want the Louis Vuitton bag, but you'll need to budget a bit more for the rest of the day. Same goes for the pasta. You might want the pasta, but you might be needing to be aware and mindful of the calories you do spend for the rest of that day. Now you're aware of the basic food foundations, calories being king of body composition, the importance of macro and micronutrients that make up our calories. Now we need to know how to work out our calories. Using the TDE calculator, there's a link attached. Use this to work out your estimated TDE calories. Put in your details and it will shoot out an estimated range for you. Now, to get a better understanding of where your true maintenance calories is, as I said, this will shoot out an estimated variation of it. You'll need to track your calories in MyFitnessPal for a week and compare them to your estimated TDE calories from the calculator, and find somewhere in between where you're most comfortable for a starting point. When doing so, you might need to realize that you need to increase or decrease in certain macros or micros, as it's different for everyone. From here, once you set your new TDEE calories in MyFitnessPal, a general split for macros is 40% carbs, 40% protein, and 20% fats. Now, this is just a general guideline. Your protein, as mentioned earlier, is most important, and protein can generally be set for women between 1.2 to 2 times body weight, depending on how much you're currently eating at the moment. So, if you're currently only getting in 70 grams a day, aim for 100 grams rather than 130 grams a day. Carbs and fats will make up the remaining of your calories left, and you can alter these due to your preference. Fats, generally due to their support of hormones and bodily functions, shouldn't be under 30 grams of fat per day. Keep that in mind. When applying a calorie deficit, a general recommendation to start with is a 10 to 20% deficit from your TDEE calories. Be aware that the bigger the deficit, the harder it will be, and the likeliness of metabolic adaptation to occur due to the body receiving fewer calories. Overall, this comes down to your personal preference and what your goals are and what you can adhere to most, because adherence also is key. So, just to recap, track and analyze your calories, your current calorie intake, and determine what changes to make and areas you can improve on. Please have this completed by our next coaching call and also have the quiz submitted as well. Thank you.